So there's some extra Pythagorean identities out there that you are going to need. In the next videos, we're going to be looking at simplifying trigonometric expressions using these identities. All right, so you'll need to be familiar with what they are and how to manipulate them. All right, so I got the original written down, right? What I'm going to do to get a couple of other identities is I'm just going to divide both sides by sine squared. All right, I'm dividing all the terms by sine squared. So sine squared over sine squared just gives me 1. Cosine over sine, hopefully you remember that. That is cotangent. And then what is 1 over sine? The reciprocal of sine is cosecant squared. All right, that's going to be one of my new Pythagorean identities. And over here, I'm going to take and instead of dividing by sine, I'll divide by cosine instead. Divide by cosine instead. Divide by cosine instead. So sine over cosine, that just gives me tangent. That gives me 1. And then 1 over cosine is secant squared. So now we have 3 Pythagorean identities, which represents all 6 of our main trig functions. All right, we got sine squared plus cosine squared is 1, and we got these other 2. All right. Now, like I said, we're going to be manipulating these identities later, so you're going to have to be kind of clever with how you shuffle terms around. You know, cotangent would just be cosecant squared minus 1 because you move that 1 over there. But sometimes you're going to have to be able to answer stuff like, what is 1 minus cosecant squared the same as? Like, I'll just put, what is? What does this turn out to be? Because I know cosecant squared minus 1 is cotangent, but what is 1 minus cosecant? This is going to turn out to be negative cotangent squared. Okay? So what I would have to do is I would have to move, I'll go down here. 1 plus, maybe you can already see it in your head, I don't know. All right, cosecant squared. What I would have to do is move this term over here and move that term over there. Okay, so I would have to do minus cosecant squared from both sides, minus cosecant squared, and I would have to move this cotangent squared over there, minus cotangent squared, cotangent squared. So I get some cancellation there and there. And so what I'm left with is 1 minus cosecant is equal to negative cotangent. Okay. The way I always remember it is, if cosecant minus 1 is regular cotangent, like if cosecant minus 1 is equal to regular cotangent, then the conjugate, like if you just switch the order, it's like you're multiplying by a negative 1, and so you just multiply this by negative 1. It changes its sign. Okay, so something similar, I guess. Let's do a different one. How about, what is tangent squared minus secant squared? What does that work out to be? Okay, so we know that secant squared minus tangent squared, all right, if we move that tangent squared over there, we see that equals 1, but we're just reversing these signs, so it's going to come out to be negative 1. There you have it. All right. I guess if you were, is there really I guess you could. You could move the secant to the left-hand side. That would give you tangent squared minus secant squared. but then you would have to move that 1 to the right-hand side, and that's why it becomes -1. All right, we're going to play a lot more with these using some substitution in the next video.